What's going on? What is going on?
Where is it?
Where's what?
Where's the ticket?
Calm down.
Where is the ticket?
What
I know
ticket?
you guys have it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is just ridiculous. This is too much.
What ticket are you talking about?
The ticket. The ticket for the plane ride to see my girlfriend tonight.
I don't know
Where-
what ticket you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. Every time I get a ticket, it's one thing or another. Last time, I swear, you hid my ID. You hid my ID. This is just too much. I need to go. I
Calm
need
down.
to go. Calm down. I can't calm down. I just can't. I can't calm. If you don't let me go tonight, I'm gonna kill myself.
Alright, so 23-year-old male, he was, length of stay is 4 days, legal status is MH6. He was brought in by HPD threatening to kill himself if he was unable to get a plane ticket to see his fiancée in the mainland. He's angry with his family, saying that he just wants to see the love of his life and they're keeping him from doing that. His fiancée is allegedly a porn star. His urine drug screen came out positive for meth, benzos, and THC. So what interventions should we take during his stay?
Okay, so upon admission, patient scored of 14, which is putting the patient at very high risk for suicide or self-harm. But at the one-to-one, he did score a 9, so placing him at a moderate risk. I definitely think that the TM33 should be continued at least once a shift.
Okay. And let's also make sure we do the Q15 assessments for his suicidal ideation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, we also have to encourage communication. He really has to contract for safety. It's a big one.
Okay.
And you know what? I think it's crucial for him to, participate in group. We just started him on Seroquel, so we should make sure that he's med compliant to it
Right.
and he continues that treatment.
Okay.
Okay, so for our group activity today, we are going to do baggage claim. So for baggage claim, basically, baggage. What baggage do you have? What baggage do we need to get rid of? It could be past traumatic experiences. It could be family experiences. It could be negative thoughts, feelings. Anything that's been thrust upon you that's negative, that you are taking with you, that you don't need to be holding on to anymore, that could be weighing you down, preventing you from getting the treatment that you need to be getting and getting better.
Although I love my mom very much and I knew she cared about me, just At times, I felt like she loved me a lot less than the other two.
According to the DSM-5, schizoaffective disorder is diagnosed as an uninterrupted period of illness, during which there is an episode of a major mood disorder, which is bipolar or major depressive disorder, concurrent with schizophrenia. A person with schizoaffective disorder should have a period of at least 2 weeks of schizophrenic symptoms in the absence of a major mood disorder. Specifically, 2 or more of the following behaviors are present for a significant portion of time over a 1-month period: hallucinations, delusions or false beliefs and loss of contact with reality.
During this meeting, the patient mentioned he met his girlfriend at Lanikai Beach. However, during previous one-on-ones, the patient mentioned he met his girlfriend at Kahala Beach. Another story is that he met his girlfriend while visiting California. Does this person even exist?
Organized thinking or speech, grossly disorganized or catatonic behavior, or negative symptoms. Another criterion for schizoaffective disorder involves a major mood disorder such as bipolar disorder, with schizophrenia uninterrupted. With bipolar disorder, it is characterized by episodes of mania, and severe depression.
It's honestly bipolar crashed into schizophrenia, and it created schizoaffective.
Let's visit patient in room 14.
Oh yeah, so today group, he was really social with his peers, but it was in a negative context. He was really glamorizing his use and getting other patients to glamorize their use. They were actually exchanging numbers and talking about meeting up and dabbing after they got out. So it was staff that intervened, and I thought it was really crucial that we did separate the group,
And on top of that, when I saw that happen, and then when the group got separated, he was like off to the side, and he was actually like having a full-on conversation by himself, like talking to himself.
That's interesting, because during his one-to-one, he was able to give me a thorough look at his history. He talked about being adopted out at 2 years old. He came from a drug. His parents apparently sold large amounts of drugs, and he was adopted out into a family, a very well-known family, a doctor. And so he speaks highly of his life. He's able to put together his life in a way that sort of makes sense until he gets into the whole idea of his porn star girlfriend
Right.
that he speaks so much openly about, you know, and but you know, interestingly, in the middle of the conversation, after he shares with me his desperation to go see his girlfriend, in the middle of the conversation, he tells me they broke up. You know, and then he'll go back into another part of the conversation where it doesn't matter if I get a ticket because she's coming for Valentine's Day anyway. So we've got a lot of disorganized thought going on. But his family life, he really doesn't share too much of the current state. So I mean, I'm not sure if anyone has information.
Well,
on that.
so I spoke to the dad, his adoptive father, and they've had it. They're just done. You know, they've been dealing with this for so long, and apparently he was able to obtain a credit card, and he racked up $30,000 worth of debt. This was like buying tickets to see the alleged girlfriend, and according to the dad, she kept saying like, "Oh, I can't see you right now. Can you change your ticket?" So he kept changing his flight, and
well, that's really interesting because to me he was saying that people were preventing him from going to see her. So I mean, his stories, right? But
all these stories.
So with all this being said, I definitely think that the route of treatment is beneficial most for him because it does show through his history and with his drug tox screening that he suffers from substance abuse. And so can we get the ball rolling on ensuring that he gets...
Yeah, I'll get him those applications and I'll have him fill it out.
I just want to make sure that it's a dual diagnosis treatment though, because he does suffer from not only the substance abuse, but he suffers from the schizoaffective.
Okay.
Yeah. And then anything else that we can...
This does seem this patient meets the criteria to have a case manager, so let's
Right.
make a referral.
Definitely. Yeah. But I think that all we can do is really place the tools in front of him, get him into treatment, and
work from there.
Right. Okay.
In this meeting, we discussed discharge plans. We assessed any concerns or questions the patient had and discussed follow-up appointments with his therapist and psychiatrist. We reminded the patient to discuss medications and therapy options with his psychiatrist and reiterated the importance of staying medication compliant. We also provided the patient with information about resources available to him, such as the suicide hotline, the crisis hotline, and AA and NA meeting information.
What's your number? Okay. Calm down. Calm down.
Oh, I was gonna calm down.
Okay.
Sincerely now, you're getting rid of your baggage.
Okay. Car. Oh yeah.
Hold on, car. Don't do it. Down. I just don't understand how I can calm down.
Appointment next Monday.
Okay, good. And then anything else?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I thought
Except
that
for I was looking at Jared at the end, and I was like,
Andre.
yeah.
And then I'm like, what can I do to prompt him? Because I'm pretty sure it's Jared's turn. Pacing, calm down. Everyone keeps telling me to calm down. I don't understand how anyone could calm down at a moment like this. Like, I just really want to see my girlfriend.
I don't know if you have to say a moment.
Okay, a moment like this. Some people wait a lifetime. Okay,
Fuck,
ready?
why didn't I get that?